Orbia guide for the people that are Orbia mains, like myself, for the people that are the simps of the world. This is an Orbia guide. So Orbia is a DPS unit. Her main job is to DPS. Duh. So her skills kind of help her with that, and she actually has a really good skill tree for bossing. She's like a really good bosser. Like that's probably the she's like exceptionally good at it. And I feel like as far as balance is concerned, I think she's gonna be a problem later, and I'll explain why quickly. I think she's gonna be a problem later, primarily because she's a damage dealer. So when people start getting the skill ups and the level ups and everything like that, she's gonna be doing a lot of damage, and I mean a lot of damage to people once they're able to get the skill sets and able to get like everything going for her. So I want to say like a year. I would say a year. I'll say 6 months down the line, she's gonna be a genuine problem for the people that are pretty much like solely focused on Orbia, because her wands are like really good. Her wands are pretty good for rating. Like the fire one's again the best one in my opinion, mainly because of the res down, also because of the burn, which is extra damage. It just offers a lot. I think the freeze will be kind of annoying in PvP settings, because if she's like locking you down with freezes, you can't really do anything. So like people will probably like lock into like more immunity defenses if possible, which probably will be countered when Chiwu comes out. So we'll look for that. But for the most part, the ice walk can be pretty annoying in PvP, but we'll see. We haven't really got to that point yet, but I can see it being pretty toxic. The wind one is also pretty good for rating, mainly because it offers a brand. So it's pretty solid. I don't think it's the best. I think it's pretty meh. It's okay. If you're fighting a water boss, you can add a brand, extra damage, all nice. So you're pretty much good with that. The light one strips, which is also okay, but you pretty much like bust this out for TOA against like people that are pretty much doing a whole bunch of like strips and things like that. But for the most part, light one's pretty much just like a support utility kind of thing. Dark one, I don't know yet, because the dark one seems pretty toxic because it does heal block it and also poisons. So I want to try this out a bit. I haven't really used dark too much since I got the wand, but we'll see later on when it comes to dark. So I'm not entirely sure of it yet. I haven't really used it, so I won't be on it. So right now, like I think the fire one is the best one by far. Like definitely the best one by far. When it comes to her skill tree, my suggestion for most players is that if you're doing Orbia primarily, you want to go to the passive. The passive is really important for her because the passive increases her damage, and her damage is top notch. Once you get her gear to the point, like if you look at my Orbia gear, my Orbia gear is pretty solid. Like I have good crit rate, good crit damage. Overall, pretty solid sets. I have good accuracy, which you kind of want because you want to learn debuffs. Precision may be good in the PvP, but again, we'll see. But for the most part, like she has a really good set for just like doing her job in like PvE content. But when it comes to her skills, let's focus on the left side first. I basically ignored S1. The reason why I ignored S1 is because when you level this up all the way to 10, it offers literally no bonuses at all. It's just extra damage. And Orbia is primarily a skill-based summoner. She wants to spam her skills. That's why Kodamiya and Bastet are really good with her, because they allow her to spam her skills. So I would say those are two monsters that are pretty much you want to have in your team at all times, because with the research, you just spamming skills. So it allows her to do much damage. I put everything into like the first skill, second skill, third skill evenly for right now, because these offer burn, these offer the res down. It's a higher chance to land your abilities, and also it puts the damage up. The ultimate, I didn't put too much into it because you're not going to be using your ultimate as much as these two, so I just put it out to 3, and I put these up to 5. But I'm not going to focus on these probably till later on in the game when I get more points. But for right now, I'm going to focus on our passives. So for sure, you want to go here first. Actually, screw that. We'll go here first. Orbia skills primarily want you to be high health. So it's very important that you pretty much go into evasion and just you being able to dodge. Because if you're dodging things, you're not taking damage, which allows you to stay high health. So you want to get these two maxed out First, when I got 60, these are the first two I maxed out because, again, I want to evade as much as possible. I want to stay safe. So if I'm evading more often, I can stay safe more often, which allows me to stay high health. Also, your mana, you want to have high mana. You also want to get extra chances to your ultimate gauge, which again allows you to do your ultimate more. And your ultimate does big damage. I've seen it do like at current state, I've seen it do like 17k, 18k. It does really big damage. These 4 I'm not worried about yet because some of these are more tied to PvP, which we're not really doing PvP yet, so I don't have to worry about these too much. Also, the monster revive is okay, but at the same time, you don't have to really care about it. It's like whatever. Ideally, you should keep most of your monsters, and if you're in content where your monsters die, once you leave the content, they'll revive anyway. So I just put 1 into it and call it a day. So for the most part, you kind of ignore this for now. I think you ignore this like till forever. Put 1 point in it, put no points in it. You can ignore it forever. But the big one is this one. This is the big one because this is where all her damage comes from. The first thing I max is this right here, the shield crush, because when she crits, it's a 10% chance for a defense down. It's low, but it's a chance. It's something. So it allows you to keep sort of maintain a defense break, which is pretty good. And again, you want to do a defense break, you want to do big damage. That's pretty much the whole entire point. The rest will be until pretty much like these 4. These 5 are pretty important. I first maxed these because again, these are what helps her pump out damage. These are the skills that allow her to pretty much do really good at bossing, especially if you're having an Orbia into goats, which is foggy or goats, whatever you prefer. So the first thing I maxed was this one because as long as you're above 70% health, you get that 20% crit damage. So again, that's why I said max your dodge, because you want to stay safe and you also want to make sure that you're doing as much damage as possible. There's also this one right here for accuracy. Again, you want to land your abilities, so having accuracy on Orbia is pretty important. Then also the attack as well. It's like really good to have these abilities because they boost the damage you put out. So once you get that, you're Gucci. I also kind of went into this one, Final Showdown. Again, it's for boss damage. Orbia is a bosser, so the more damage you're doing to bosses, the better. That's her job. It's pretty much her only job. Kill bosses. And you want to make her as best as possible killing bosses. Next one I'm going to do is Element Amplification. The reason why I didn't focus on it too much is because I primarily use Fire Orb. And so there's not a lot of times where I'm doing Elemental Advantage. Like if I'm doing Borbos, I'm not using the Ice Orb, the Ice Staff, because it's not really that good. Into Borbos, it's okay. You make it a freeze here and there, but the bird one is a lot better in Borbos because again, it's extra damage and the rest of it's pretty good. So I'm now putting points into this now because I'm pretty much doing Tear Glance, and Tear Glance, if I have the Fire Staff, I'm doing more damage because he has Fire Staff, the bosses win, I'm doing more damage. And once I'm kind of chilling off of this because it's 7, but I'm kind of looking into this one as well for skill acceleration for the units. So that's also pretty good. But for the most part, I'm pretty much focused on these 4 because again, Orbia's job is to be a bosser. Her job is to do a lot of damage. Her job is to put out a lot of damage and kill stuff. That's what you want to focus on. So that's why she's really good at the bossing and killing. As far as the books, I've said it a billion times. I'm mainly using the Fire Staff, so I put 1 more in the fire. I do use the Water Staff every now and then, but not too much. And the rest I'm kind of chilling on because I don't know too much about the Dark Staff. If I think it's pretty good, I'll probably take 1 out of fire and probably put 1 in here. I'll probably take 1 in here, 1 in here, and put 2 in here, depending on how good it is. But if it's like okay, I'll probably just skip it and just leave it how it is. But for the most part, most of my points are going into like these 2. But like I said, I'm not chilling on. I'm trying to chill on this right now, and I'm pretty much putting most of my effort into this because the passes are really important when it comes to Orbia. Specifically, she's really good at just being a boss killer. If you guys have come on my stream, I'm usually at the highest damage in raids now because I'm able to just kill bosses. Like I'm usually like pretty clear ahead. It's not to brag or anything, but it's like Orbia does a lot of damage. So because I expected to it, she's doing her job exceptionally well. So if you're playing Orbia, that's what you should do. Focus on your skills, not too much. Again, don't worry about your S1. Your S1 does nothing. It adds nothing to your kit, so just ignore it, at least for now. Put something into your skills that can do more damage, be a little bit more effective, put a little bit into ultimate. But for the most part, start really focus on this because this allows her to be top peak really good. It allows her to be really strong. It allows her to do bosses really well, because you're going to get to the point where pretty much all you're fighting is bosses to begin with. So this is really important because, again, it puts her at the top. It makes her as good as possible in like those in-game content, especially when we have a new raid coming out. So hopefully maybe it'll be super effective. But again, her job is to primarily be a boss killer. So focus on upping her damage so she can kill bosses. That is the Orbia skill up guide. If you guys want it, there you go. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.